So let's go through the solutions to the work that I assigned you yesterday. So it was a lot of work on graphs of quadratic equations. Let's start with questions 2 and 4. And you're asked to draw a rough sketch. And all I'm really looking for here is for you to have the shape and the intercepts correct. So we're asked to find the coordinates of the points where each of these functions intersect the x-axis and the y-axis. Remember, x means y is equal to 0, and y means x is equal to 0. So for the first one, the function is x squared minus 4x. So if I want y equal to 0, I'm trying to solve, find the roots of that quadratic. X squared minus 4x equal to 0. I can factorize out a common factor and then let each factor in turn equal to 0 to get my two roots like that. When x is equal to 0, f of 0, or the y value, will be 0 squared minus 4 by 0, which is 0. Okay, so we have these two x points, x equals 0 and x equals 4, and we have just one y value, which is y equal to 0. In terms of sketching it, it's going to be a U-shaped graph because it's a positive x squared. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to go through that point, and it's going to go through that point. So when I sketch the graph, it just looks like a U-shape like that. So I'm not even filling in a scale on the y-axis. They just wanted the shape and where it goes through the x and the y-axes. Okay, so if you felt a little bit confused about that, hopefully you understand the process now. The next two are very similar. We have f of x equal to x squared minus 2x minus 8. The y-intercept is the easiest one to find. When I fill in x equals to 0, all that's left is going to be the constant. So in every single function, the constant is always your y-intercept. When I'm finding my x-intercept or my roots, I'm solving that quadratic equal to 0. So you can use the minus b formula if you want, but with these ones, it's usually fairly quick to find the factors. So I'm looking for things that add to give me minus 2 and multiply to give me minus 8, and a minus 4 and a plus 2 are those. Then I set each factor equal to 0 and bring the number to the other side, which is why I change its sign, and those are the values that I get. So these are the 3 points that I need to plot on the axes. Again, it's U-shaped, and my x and my y-axes, I'm being very, very quick with this, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't need to go that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down as far as minus 8. And 1, 2, minus 2. So those are the 3 points at x equals 4, at x equals minus 2, and at y equals minus 8. And it should be symmetrical. So the turning point should be a little bit below here. And there's my rough sketch of the graph. Now the third one had f of x equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. So this one is going to be n-shaped because of this minus here. Straight away I can write down the y-intercept though. Y is equal to plus 3. So it's the constant that's there. And in terms of the x value, I need to solve minus x squared plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0. We can use the minus b formula, or we can change all the signs and factorize, because it has the same roots as this one. So x minus 3, x plus 1 gives me x equals a plus 3, x equals a minus 1. And now I have my 3 points for plotting. I need to go up as far as 3 on my y-axis. I'm not even using a ruler here, but like we said, a rough sketch. So 1, 2, 3, and -1. A bit wobbly there. And I need to go up as far as 1, 2, 3. I could double these, couldn't I? Oh, it's fine for the rough sketch. And just remembering that it's N-shaped, so it needs to go through the x-axis and the y-axis and then turn around like that. Okay, so that was question 1. Hopefully you were able to follow that along. 3 points and the shape of the graph. And you know, in later questions we do have to find the turning point. But if you could do that much and no more, you're going to get most of the marks for any quadratic question. So I would hope that everybody would be able to do a question like question 2 there. Sorry, I said question 1, it was question 2. Now, question 4, and I didn't give you question 3. Question 4 asked us to do completed square format. So we'd y equals x squared plus 4x minus 12, and we need to write it in completed square format. So you saw this in your notes. It's going to be a plus something squared plus something else. And there's different ways of doing this, but the way that I like to do it is to say that these are equal to each other. Sorry, not a, x. Is to square out my brackets. So we know how to do that. X squared plus 2hx plus h squared plus k. And that's the same as what I have here. X squared plus 4x minus 12. And what we can see here is that I have my x squared, they're the same. Then I have my x term, and my x terms tell me that 2h must be the same as 4. 2h is equal to 4, so h is equal to 2. And I have my constant term, the thing with no x's in it. And what my constant term tells me is that h squared plus k is equal to minus 12. But I know what h is because I just found it there. So 2 squared plus k is equal to minus 12, or 4 plus k is equal to minus 12, and k is equal to minus 16, which means, filling back, treating this like a formula, in completed square format, my function is x plus h all squared plus k, plus, so it's a minus k, or minus 16, plus a minus is minus, and that's my function in completed square format. And now they asked us to draw a sketch of the curve showing clearly where it intersects the x-axis, the y-axis, and its turning point. So remember that the turning point from this, the minimum value, because it is going to be U-shaped, we change the sign of the one in the brackets, and we don't change the sign of the other one. So the minimum or the maximum value, the turning point, can be taken from completed square format all the time. What else do we know? We know that the y-intercept is minus 12. Where's that coming from? The constant term here. And then I look for the roots by solving x squared plus 4x minus 12 equal to 0. So I'm going to have a fourth point in a question like this. I've got x plus 6, x minus 2 equal to 0. Again, if you're not comfortable with factorizing, it is fine to use the minus b formula and you'll get the same answers here. So those are my two roots. And now I can draw a little bit neater of a sketch maybe than I've done before. I need to go between minus 6 and plus 2, and I need to go down as far as minus 16, and I know that it's U-shaped, so most of my graph here is going to be underneath the y-axis. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, minus 8. Oh, be careful here. That's minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12, minus 14, minus 16. Let me get that on the screen. I'm going in twos just because it was convenient for me. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, and minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, y-axis, x-axis. Relevant points are x equals minus 6, x equals plus 2, y equals minus 12, and my turning point, minus 2, minus 16. So now I have 4 points to sketch my graph with. And I should use a pencil, but just to make it a bit clearer, I'm just using my pen here. So I come down to that turning point there, and it's symmetrical. The axis of symmetry will go through there. So make that as neat as possible there. That's what my graph should look like. So my turning point comes from the completed square format. We change the sign of the one in brackets, and we don't change the sign of the other one. Okay, now I'm going to do the other questions in a separate video. Thank you.